which
Well, did you go planning on staying for like a couple months? Did you have like a goal on how long you wanted to stay?
Originally it was to go for like as long as I could, or maybe stay indefinitely. And about a month and a half in, it was a realization that like it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And it was essentially just like stick it out for as long as I could. And I mean, towards the end, it was just like everything pointed towards coming back to Colorado.
What a crazy thought, though, that you have to like stick it out in Hawaii. Because for me, that has never been there, it seems like a paradise, and like you just go and chill and all this. But
no. That's it is a weird like paradox to have that thought or paradigm like stick it out in Hawaii. Like, has anyone ever said that but me on this podcast? Like, it is.
I feel like that kind of goes to like you can't really assume anything, right? Like, there are some people where like their favorite place to be would be in Minnesota or like in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where it's, in my opinion, not a paradise, but to them they're like, yeah, dude, I'm out in the forest. It snows for like 8 months a year. I can get out the sleds and go snowmobiling, and like that's the dream, man. We're just out in the woods, like log cabining it up, and like I feel like that's what makes getting to know people so interesting, is like everyone really has that different perspective of paradise is really wherever you're supposed to be. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with your external, or I guess it does, but like paradise is more an external environment matching with your internal environment than it is like a specific setting.
Oh, I completely agree. Yeah. I mean, like, external factors are important, but I don't disagree with you by any means. Like, paradise to one person might not be paradise to another one, but it is an interesting like statement. Like, and I will say,
it's terrible.
Stick it out in Hawaii. I'm gonna start saying that all the time. Like, stick it out in Hawaii, bro.
Yeah.
Just like, what'd you just say? You heard me.
You heard me.
But no, like, it is. And like for me, like when I first came back, I was super depressed and I was in a bad place and got in a bad place. And I just remember like being around all my dad's friends and like my friends and not really wanting to be like anywhere around any of them. And they would all ask me like, because naturally so, like, you've been gone for 7 months. Like, how was your trip in Hawaii? Like, how was that? Like, was that awesome? And it took me a while to come around to like the notion of being like, and just being honest and just being like, it wasn't for me. Like, it wasn't. Like, I learned a lot, but for me, it wasn't that great. Like, looking back. And I love Hawaii. Like, I love vacationing there, and I think it is different when you, of course, I called it a staycation, but like, I think it's different when you are there for 2 weeks as opposed to being there for 7 months. You start to see a little bit of the culture and things that like you don't ordinarily see. And for me, like, Hilo's different than most of the other spots on the island in the sense that like there's not a whole lot of tourism, despite the fact that like Volcano National Park is like one of their main economic drivers, which is on the Big Island. Like, Kona's more the tourist side. Hilo's not. You got a big meth problem. You got a huge homeless population. You got a lot of people that are living off, Medicaid, food stamps, and milking the government. And work is very slow. You don't have a lot of work. And you also have the tourism, which is a big economic driver over there, wrapped into that. And a lot of people coming over to drink. And like, I got wrapped up in the wrong things. And you can get wrapped up in the right things. It's just, for me, I got wrapped up in the wrong things. And it rained. The first 5 months I was there, it rained 20 plus inches every month I was there, which for me, I'm used to 300 days of sunshine in Colorado. So it's like that waned on my fucking, whatever.
Yeah, that seasonal disaffective.
Just punch the mic. That had an effect on it. And then, I definitely experienced from like, like the island going off, like I experienced everything the island had to offer. I experienced the 7.0 magnitude earthquake. I experienced the first volcano in 50 years. Like it was
crazy.
Yeah, it was wild over there. But all those
on my bucket list is to go see actual molten lava, like up close, like as close as I can possibly get to lava.
I could see being one of the guys that were just like getting kicked out of neighborhoods for just like going in and filming shit.
Well, yeah, my buddy was over in Hawaii for like a weird like music retreat when that all went down, and they had to evacuate their original location to go to a different one, and supposedly there's a really like super deadly gas that it all gives off.
Yeah,
that's completely invisible. So like all these idiots, like I definitely would have been, were running up and like checking out the lava, but it's pouring out like genuinely poisonous fumes.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a big gas guy. Yeah. I think it's sulfur.
Yeah, I don't know what
dioxide
what the term is, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll go. Next podcast.
Surprisingly,
Dylan will edit in the actual like molecules chain.
Sulfur dioxide.
Yeah. I'll tell you, on my bucket list is not going anywhere near a volcano.
For
whatever reason.
It is pretty wild. I mean, like it is
an active one at least.
It was pretty wild. Just like I never got like super close. That guy that I was saying that was the locations manager.
Yeah.
Him and his friends got like extremely close. And there's a few people that like passed away from trying to film some of that footage. And like you said, just like the gas is just big gas guy. The gas is like killed him. But yeah, that's like we experienced acid rain a lot.
I did hear about that as well. Yeah, like
the
real
fumes from whatever, and it rained all the time, would go up, and natural something.
It's super acidic rain, and it really messes stuff up.
It's so like, does it like hurt when it hits you? Or?
So it doesn't hurt when it hits you, but like it fucks your sinuses up, like to the next couple weeks. It's just like for me, it was like hard to breathe, and it was like you could feel the burn, and it was like you had constant heartburn, and just made me super foggy.
Wow.
So it was like it did have that effect, but like it wasn't like
I'm melting.
Yeah, like I'm melting alive. Yeah, so it wasn't like that, but
I mean, it's a pretty aggressive name.
But that's like acid, I mean, like acid rain, you do picture like someone just like melting alive.
Yeah, it comes out of a dragon's mouth. Yeah, just something.
That's good sound effects right there. But I just like, it was like something I had never experienced. A lot of those things, but like back to a different way of life. Like, all those things I mentioned before were just like culturally and like physically just like going through like dealing with all the rain and like a new environment and a different culture. It was a lot. And for me, like I said, it took a while to tell people how I actually felt and come around to the fact that I didn't have a good time, mainly for the fact that like when you said that, Dylan, like stick it out in Hawaii, like you don't hear, like people don't fucking say that. Like it is like a paradise, but it's weird when you live there.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of money to be made, but there's tons of money to be spent, which is like a weird paradox. There's like
it is,
a very select group of, because even when I was there spending money, I recognized that like I was only spending it in like these one or two locations. Like it was very obvious that like the same dude owned every restaurant or like the same hotel chain versus like you'd go just a little bit outside of town. And like you said, you're just kind of like, oh, wow, I feel like people are actually kind of struggling here. It's like a much... If you had to struggle someplace, why not? Why? But like...
Yeah. That's why a lot of the homeless people go over there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they don't have to deal with bone-chilling cold.
Yeah, and you just brush off some acid rain instead of some snow in the morning and you're good to go. That was almost a spit take.
Almost, you
got me. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so the homeless people travel from...
Yeah, you save up just enough to get over there.
Get over there, and then once you get over there, it's like, what do I have to deal with? Okay, I have to deal with 70-degree, like it's raining and it's 70 degrees, and I can just go panhandle on the corner and get whatever. Like,
once
you make it over there, like, you're essentially, you don't have to worry about like environmental stuff, which a lot of homeless people do.
Yeah, if you're gonna be homeless, I guess that's the place you want to do it.
Yeah, should we all just be homeless?
All right,
Go to
packed,
Hawaii.
blood oath, boys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.